Hi, so this is the final discussion board, and I've chosen to do a video for this one to answer my questions. So for the first part of the part one, what would you consider as a highlight of this course? I touched briefly on this in my reflection, but for me, a highlight of this course has just been getting like the basic knowledge of how to even begin to formulate a lesson plan. Before this class, I had never taken I had only taken a couple introduction to education classes, and I had never been taught about actually creating a lesson plan. And so that was something I was really looking forward to entering into this class. And I do feel like although there's a lot to learn, I definitely feel like that basis of knowledge will help me a lot in forming them in the future. Like if I were to have to teach a lesson plan tomorrow, I think I could form one if I needed to. So a highlight for me has just been learning that basic format and then forming that with the objective, with the lesson, with the activity, with the conclusion, and just every part of it that like a real lesson plan might need. And then something that I really enjoyed in this course, again, I talked about this in my reflection, was just the fact that everything built on each other. So I was able to make a lesson. I did a kindergarten math lesson about basic shapes, because I know I want to teach younger grades ideally. I'd like to teach art, but for this situation I just did math. And I did them learning about basic shapes, so I first made an anchor chart about that. Then I was able to do the standards assignment about that. Then I was able to develop it into a full lesson plan, and can possibly develop even farther in this module. So I have really enjoyed being able to see that all the way through, and kind of have to do that process that I will have to do over and over again as an educator. Something I was surprised to learn about sort of myself for this one was just like how much I guess I can handle work-wise, because I am in 3 summer classes online currently, and that did not sound like a tough task to take on to me for me, because I feel like I'm pretty good at managing my time and whatnot, but it was incredibly challenging, and now that it's coming to an end, I'm kind of able to step back and see just how much I did, and like in each of the classes, like this one included, we just covered so much material in this much time, so I'm kind of glad and proud of how much I was able to take in such a short period of time. So for part 2, I'll be answering why is reflection important to lesson planning. I think as far as the students reflecting, that's important, because there needs to be some sort of like acknowledgement of what they've just done or what they've just learned, and something that sort of allows it to connect to the bigger picture. That's sort of a conclusion/reflection, and then just for students to be able to reflect on their own work and their own behavior, so that there's always room for them to improve. And then likewise, reflection is so important for lesson planning as a teacher, because it's always, I think this is more what the question is guided towards, but it's always important to reflect on what went wrong, what went really well. Like, there's definitely always room for improvement no matter what. And so I think as a teacher, you just have to be very aware as you're going through a lesson, like what things can be improved upon, because even if you thought a lesson went really well, all your students seem to pick up on the information and all that, I think there's still room for things to change no matter what. And also, as a teacher, you're not going to want to do the same exact thing year after year, so I think reflecting on what went well, and then over time having a portfolio of things that are all like very good lesson plans is important. Also, as far as reflection as a teacher, just knowing your own strengths and weaknesses can really help you as like an educator. if there's certain types of lessons or certain lesson plans that like aren't your strength, it might be best to find something else that'll work better. Or if certain types of lessons aren't the strength of like this particular class of students, or like a particular just group of students or student, then being aware of that process, being aware of that and reflecting on that, I think can be super beneficial in the long run. So yes, thank you.